In this training, we're going to look at setting up Mailshots, and the three areas we're going to look at are the customer portal, which is the area that customers use to update their marketing preferences when they click on that unsubscribe link in their email, and then we'll look at setting up the email messages, and then finally different ways of searching for clients that you want to target with the Mailshot. So we're going to click on the gear icon in the top right of the screen, and then come down under settings and click on system defaults and down to portal settings. If it's on, you're fine. If it's not on, it's going to look like this, and you need to toggle that switch and then click update. The next step is to customize the portal settings. If you use the portal already, then you probably already have this done, but if you don't, then you're going to want to personalize it, and you need to click on the customize portal button, and then that'll take you to this site content screen. So it's a case of just updating the different sections. So the first part is the portal footer, which provides a link to your terms and conditions and privacy policy. So you're going to want to just take out the MagManager name and update that to your own. The next one is the header. So you're going to want to take out the MagManager logo and update it with your own by clicking on the picture icon, choosing your file and clicking on insert image. Size wise for the images, 200 pixels is recommended for a square logo and 300 pixels if it's a rectangle shape. And then you're going to want to save that once you've added your own logo, and then move on to the portal privacy policy. So it's just a case of adding your own privacy policy into the editor and clicking save. And the same for the terms and conditions. Add your own terms and conditions and then click save. So the next part is to actually create the email. So we're going to do that by clicking on the gear icon again. Under admin, we're going to select document templates, my documents, and then select new document. And it'll be an email document and general communication. If you want to create it from scratch, click on create a new document, and it'll open a new document template that's completely blank, ready for you to add your own information. If you want to select one that's already been created, select my document again, click new, email document, general, and select one that you've previously created. So in this instance, I'm going to select the one annual festive issues. So it's a case of updating the title. You can add a description if you wish, and the to field, I'm going to delete the primary contact for a moment and just show you how you can add that. So in the to field, you click in the box there, hover over to primary contact and select email, and it populates it with the primary contact. If you wanted to add a second one, you can do that by hovering over the artwork and clicking on email, and you can see it's added the artwork contact also. But for this example, I'm going to just click on the little X there to remove the artwork. So the next fields are the CC and BCC fields. You would just add an email address if you wanted to send a copy to someone else. And attachments, it would be a case of clicking on new attachment if you wanted to add an attachment to this document. Next step would be to update the subject header. So this is what would appear in the client's email as the subject heading. And then finally down to the editor. So you would add your own logo, which you can do so by clicking on the picture icon, choosing your file and selecting insert image. Again, as before, size wise 200 pixels if it's square and 300 pixels if it's a more rectangular shape. So you can see that this is just basic text in the editor here. It's not been this is definitely not going to be personalized when it comes through. and it can only really be used by Jenny. So what I'm going to show you is how we can use the tokens on the left hand side here and make this document suitable for anybody that's any users on your MagManager account to use. So first off, I'm going to just click to the right of the word good afternoon and go up to the tokens and hover over primary contact and select first name, and you'll see there it auto populates there with the primary contact first name, and you can tell it's a token because it has that yellow background around it. So if we go further down, I'm going to take out Jenny's name and I'm going to go over to current user and first name. So this will automatically populate the email with the current MagManager user. Okay, I just want to add a few extra bits in here, so I'm going to add in my company name, and actually just before that I want to add in the current user's full name, and then I've got the company name, and then I want to add in the current user's telephone number and the current user's email. Okay, and then I can delete that phone number part out of it there as well. So I now want to add in an unsubscribe link to the bottom of the email. So I'm just going to add in some text there, and then go up to the tokens, hover over general, and then click unsubscribe link. And you can see there that it's been added to the bottom there. So in the email, this will actually say to update your preferences, please click, and it will be replaced with the word here. So I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller than the rest of the email text. I'm going to put that one down to 10 so it just appears a little bit smaller, and I can see there's just an extra space at the start of those ones, so I'm just going to delete out those spaces, and that's fine. I'm quite happy with that, and I can just go ahead and click save. So if I go ahead and click on that My Documents tab again, you can see here Annual Festive Issues 22 was the one I just created, and there you go. You can see it with the tokens and things that I'd added, so that's fine. I can just cancel that. So the next step is to search for the clients that we want to send the email to. So the most straightforward way is to go to Reports in the top navigation bar, and then click on Create Mailshots, and then click on the grey area. So the communication type is based on General Communication. And this is the area where you can search for clients to bring up. So you can choose based on the publications. You can choose based on issues. You can choose based on sections. You can select them all. Or you can just select individual ones. Yep. So just a case of... Okay, you can select categories, and again just the same, individual ones, and you can select flags. And you can also click Assign to, and you can choose just to pick up clients that are assigned to you. And the client list ones I'm going to come back to. So we'll leave it as it is there and see what comes back. If you leave them all blank and click search, it'll bring up everybody in the database. So by using these search options, it refines the search slightly for you. So you can see based on those settings that I put in, nothing's come up. So I'm going to just take those off and click search, and there we go. Everyone's that's in the database has come up. So we can see, looking at the top here, it has 5 clients have no email address. So If we go to the email header and just sort the order on that, you can see that brings those 5 up to the top, so we can actually see who they are rather than them being buried somewhere in the list. So if you're happy with all these clients that are on the list, that's fine. If you're not, you can uncheck them by clicking on that little checkbox in the top header, or you can select the little checkbox individually. So once you're happy with the list, it's a case of just clicking that green select create email, and we're going to base it on the document that we previously created. So it was annual festive issues 22. Okay, so we just scroll down, and because we created this in advance, we know it's absolutely fine, so we're good to go ahead and click preview and send. So you can see it comes up with the first client, it auto-populates with their email address, and we can see it's inserted their name, Abby. You can also see down the bottom the fields that have been pre-populated, so we've got Jenny and our name, the name of the company, and the phone number and email address. And then just below here we can see where the unsubscribe has the update your preferences there as changed to the word here. So the next step is to send all emails. You would click on the blue button. That will send all the emails in one go. If you decide that actually you don't want to send it to Abby, just click on the skip and next email, and it will move one along. So it's updated the email address, and we can see it now says Anna. So you can do skip and next, and then it just moves on to the next one. If you're happy to send the email and you want to do them individually, you can click on that green one, send a next email. So we'll send this one and move on to the next one. Okay, so but generally you would just send that blue one, send either all emails, or if you have skipped and gone forward, it'll say send remaining emails. But for now, I'm just going to close this one. So this is how the email would look, and if you click on the here to update preferences, it's going to load up the portal, and this is the page that the client would see. So it has their name, their email address, and they can just toggle on and off their preferences, and then they would click done when they've updated it. Okay, and so there you go, you can see how it looks, and it has the terms and conditions and that sort of information there that you previously updated. So I'm now going to show you another way that you can search for clients that you maybe want to target for your Mailshot and add them to your own list. So I've clicked on clients here in the top navigation bar, and I'm going to select prospects, and I'm going to use the flags to search. So I'm going to click on the little funnel to the left of the word flags, and then I'm going to select is and select the icon for beauty. So it's returned 4 there. So they're all selected by default. Obviously unchecking the box in the header deletes the checkbox from everybody. I can click there and put it back in again, or you can check each one individually by just clicking on the box and then clicking back again. So I'm going to keep all 4, and I'm going to click on create list, and I need to give it a name. So I'm calling it Festive Mailshot, and then I'm going to assign it to Jenny and click save. Okay, so I'm just going to turn that flag search off, and then I'm going to go onto the all tab. This time I'm going to search using the search box. So I'm going to type in shopping in there, and you can see it's brought up 3. And I'm going to go ahead and click on create list, and this time I'll go to add to list and then click Festive Mailshot and click save. Okay, so that's added those, so I'm now up to 7 in my Festive Mailshot list. So again, I'm going to go back to the all tab. I'm going to just take that search out of there, and this time I want to search on categories. So in order to access the categories, I need to click on the little magnifying glass in the sections header, and there you go, it comes up of a subcategory search. So click in the box and it brings up a list, so it's just a case of selecting the categories that you want to include and then click search. Okay, so it's brought a few more that are connected with the options that I chose. Now probably quite a few of these will already be included because we can see that they've already got that beauty flag, but I'm going to go ahead and click create list and add them to the festive mail shot. So any that are not already on there will be added. So we're now up to, we've got 12, obviously 10 because they go on to the next page. Okay. So I'm now going to click onto the active tab, and this time I'm going to search on last booking. So if I click on the drop down there, I can go to August, and there it's going to pick up all the clients who were last booked in August. So I don't want to include these top 4, but I'm quite happy to have the rest. So I'll click on create list, go to add to list and select festive mail shots and save. And you can see there that I'm now up to 30 entries on that list. So that's a good list to get going with. When you're reviewing the list, if there's anybody that you don't want to include, so where are we? I'll take Lee's locks. I'm thinking, you know what, I don't want to send it to him. So you can just click on remove, and that will remove that client from the list. It doesn't have any effect on the all active prospects tab. This is purely an individual list that you've created to work from. So the clients are still there, they're just not on this list. So to target these people with a mail shot, it's just a case of going up to reports and then clicking create mail shots. Click on the grey area and select your general communication, and this time we're going down to the client lists in the search area, and from there we can select festive mail shot and search, and that's brought up 27 entries. So it will only bring through the client once. On the previous list there may have been clients with maybe like as a primary contact, an accounts contact, an artwork contact. So this just brings through the primary contact here, which is why it's showing 27 rather than the 30 that was on the main list. So again, you have the option that you can uncheck people from here if you wish, but assuming that they're all fine, you can just go ahead and click on select create email, and you're going to choose the email template that you previously created and click preview and send. So again, it just brings up the preview email, and you can go ahead and click that send all email, and the email will be sent to all your clients on that list. So the benefits of using the list are that you may want to follow up with these clients again. So if you send a mail shot out to them as you open up the sales for your December issue, and then you've maybe heard back from some of them, well, you can quickly delete the ones that have booked from the list and then just send the email to the smaller list. It's just an easier way rather than going through the search options to pick people up. Once you have your list there, you can just use that, and you can use it multiple times. So that basically covers everything on the mail shots, and if you've got any questions, just ask us, and yeah, we'll be able to help you with it.